stream get up. Yo, how's it going, guys? It is Passive here, back with another video, kinda stream, I suppose. What I'm going to be working on today is the Captcha verification for Lithium, which is a submodule of RavenBOT, which is a kind of general purpose Discord bot that I'm writing. So let's go ahead and get started. So basically the control flow of this is a user joins a Discord server, they get a specific role or possibly the everyone role, which basically blocks them from doing anything in the server. Then they receive a DM from the bot with a specific code, which they then need to run a command, and then the bot will receive that code that they've put in. If the code is correct, then they will receive a role that allows them to speak and so on in the server. How's it going, Devon? But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, we're going to need a module base. So if we go interactive base sharded command context. I'm sorry, but you needed to lose your private time. Yeah, so now I just need to organize some of these imports and get started on this work. So the control flow is basically user joins server, user blocked from speaking, etc. User receives code in DM. User runs command with code. User, if correct, the user will get permissions to speak, etc. If incorrect, try again. After 3 failures, kick. Okay, so that's our basic control flow. GTA 5 with freezing, I can't really help with that. I don't really play GTA 5 anymore. Do I mod PS4? Yes, I have a jailbroken PS4. It's on version 5.05. You can't go online though, so it's a bit of a bummer. Do I sell console IDs and PS IDs? Yes, I do. My store is passivemodding.selly.com, I think. Wait. passivemodding.selly.store for CIDs. So let's get started on this. Well, first of all, there's got to be a few different things to work with. I think I'll use a partial class for this, so we can just hook straight into the moderation thing, because that's a part of moderation. So instead of using the class name of Captcha, we can just go ahead and call it moderation. So now what I need to do is add a boolean saying if the service is enabled for the user. So if we go into our models, then moderation config, we can see that we've got a bunch of stuff in here. We can go public bool use captcha get set equals false. by default. So basically the get set just means that this can be changed and it can also be received. And then the equals false is just the default value of that. So we're going to need to add a command to toggle that. So if we go public async task toggle captcha, and then we go ahead and go var config equals moderation service, and the reason we can access moderation service is because this is a partial class here and it's part of moderation, and if we go up to here we've also got the moderation class and its constructor there, and we've initialized the moderation service. So basically another class with this same namespace and class name can access that. So if we head back to our Captcha equals moderation service dot get moderation config context.guild.id, and then we can use that config and toggle the Captcha. So config.use Captcha equals not config.use Captcha. So the exclamation mark basically cancels it. So if this is true, or if config.use Captcha is true, then putting an exclamation mark out the front will make it false. So we're setting it to be the opposite of itself, if that makes sense. How much are jailbroken PS4s? I'm not really sure because I just got a regular PS4, never used it, and then time came when I hadn't used it for so long that a jailbreak version had come out after the fact that I hadn't updated. So I kind of got lucky with it, but yeah. Use Captcha. But where I got my jailbroken PS3s from, or the jailbroken PS3, I got that from eBay, and so my best bet for you would probably just go on eBay and try and buy one. And if you have any issues, you can always refund, because eBay is usually good with handling that sort of stuff for buyers. My RTM is free now. Wait, I'll send you a link. If you look at my previous stream, I removed the login and authentication and stuff. It's free now. It was previously paid, but I've since removed that, and yeah, it's free to use. So now we can go ahead and save this config. So we go moderation service dot save moderation config, and then we can go await reply async, if I can spell correctly, Captcha use Captcha, and then we can put our little $sign out the front to say that we're going to use string interpolation. So we go config.use Captcha. So that will basically say use Captcha, and then semicolon, and then true or false. Why is it showing an error? Shouldn't need to, because it's an async task. Public async task toggle Captcha. Alright. System threading tasks. Okay. should need to set the amount of failures and then what to do after they go through all the failures. So if we go, actually, you know what, we'll have a separate class for Captcha. So public class then we can go ahead and don't want to use it up front. We can go public int max failures get set equals 3, and then we can have in enumerable to set what to do after they hit the max failures. So public in action, and then we can go ahead kick, ban, and then none. So kick, that'll just kick the user, ban, it'll ban the user, and none will just do nothing. So we can add that as a property of the Captcha class. So we go public action get set equals kick. We go action dot kick. Okay, so then we should have a default Captcha class. So we go public Captcha settings get set equals new Captcha. So that should work there, and then we can go back here and have some settings to set all that up. So max Captcha warnings, that should work. Set Captcha warnings int count equals 3. So that'll be the default amount we can set. How's it going, Pajamas? YT. Great name, by the way. Okay, you know what? I'm going to have a private setter for the max failures. So that will mean we can't set the amount of failures from another class. It has to be a method within the Captcha class. So if we go public bool set max failures int count, if count greater than or equal to 1, max failures equals count. Otherwise, we return false. So the boolean return is basically, hey, it was set, hey, it wasn't set. So that should work just fine. Yeah. So then int count equals 3, config dot Captcha settings dot set max failures count, and then we can use that as a condition because that returns a boolean. So if it works, we can chuck this in there. So we save the config. Otherwise we can go, actually we can wait, reply async max failures for Captcha count. else, we can take that one and just say maximum must be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, so that should have the max captcha warnings set, which is good. And then set the captcha action. Set captcha action. And then we can go duration config. Is that what's the class called? Moderation config. Yeah. So we go moderation config dot captcha dot action, which is enumerable. Config dot captcha dot action. Yeah, there we go. Action equals action dot kick as default. Okay, so I probably need a command that actually tells the user what the actions are. So captcha actions. Then we can await reply and then just tell them a list of the actions. Apply async captcha actions. Make a new line. Go plus. There. Then we can have ban, new line, kick, new line, none. And then show captcha actions. Multi-RTM remake. I could check out your tool if you want, but I don't really go into modding videos as much anymore. I don't know. Yeah, just depends. Let's see. So I've got here config dot captcha settings dot max failures action equals action, and then after a user the max we can go action max failure action. We can just do that. Okay, so now what I need to go ahead and do is actually add the functionality for this. So it should go in the one of these methods. So if we go captcha service, then public class public partial class moderation service, and then we can go ahead and make this part of the captcha service. So what we'll need to do is use the user joined event. Actually, I did set it up here. So have the user joined event create a object, which will be some sort of Captcha config for that user. And then each time they try, we can get that object and do stuff with it. So, class Captcha user. Yeah, that should work. And then we can go public ulong, because ulongs. Am I done with the RTM tool? Yes, it's currently available for free on passivemodding.github.io. So if you want, you can download it from there. But yeah, so we've got our Captcha user. Now what I'll need to store is the user ID and the guild ID. Guild being the server. So basically on Discord, everything has an ID. So if we look at myself, for example, if we go copy ID, this is my Discord user ID, and every server has an ID, so this is my Discord server ID, and I'll need to store both of those so I can get stuff working. So if we go public ulong user ID get, I don't need to set it outside of the constructor. I will, however, need a default constructor because reasons. Just database compatibility things. Public Captcha user, and then we can also go public Captcha user ulong user ID ulong guild ID, and then we can go ahead and also add a property for the guild ID. So we got public ulong guild ID get, and then I'll also need to store an integer for the failure count. So public int failure count get. I also need a setter for that, equals 1. No, equals 0. And then we can use some initializations here. So we can go user ID, the one with the capital, equals user ID, the one with the lowercase. And then same for guild ID. Guild ID equals guild ID. And then we can head back to our... Actually, no, we need to store this. So, how will I do this? I can add a static variable here to dictate the document name or a method of getting the document. So public static string document name, and then I can take these two. This is more just for database stuff, but we can return and then an interpolated string Captcha user dash user ID dash guild ID, and then we can use that for storing stuff. So now what can happen is we need to generate this when a user joins a server. So if we go to event service, because that's also a part of the moderation service, I believe. No, it's not. Anyways, we can use the user joined method, or we can actually capture that in moderation. Yeah, so we do capture the client there. Captcha very big gay. Yeah, sure. So we can... Where's this class again? Captcha service. So, if we go to moderation service, we do receive the Discord client, and then we can capture the event. So if we go client dot user joined plus equals user joined, and I believe the argument for this is socket guild user. So if we go public task user joined socket guild user, yeah, that should all work out, and then we've just got to return task.completed task. Completed task. Okay, so what we need to do here is basically either generate a Captcha config for the user. Actually, no, we should first retrieve the moderation config, and then if they have Captcha enabled, we can generate a Captcha object for the user. So var config equals get moderation config user.guild.id, and that will always return an object because I initialize it and do a bunch of stuff there. But so we get the config, and then if config dot use Captcha, we can then go ahead and either try to retrieve a Captcha object or try to generate a Captcha object. So I believe store, what is it? No, it is database. So var captcha doc equals database dot load Captcha user, so that's just specifying the type, which is in those two little whatever you want to call those, and then we can go Captcha user dot document name user dot id user dot guild dot id, and that should try and generate one. If CaptchaDoc equals null, we can create one and then store it in the database. So CaptchaDoc equals new Captcha user, and then we can add some constructor stuff. So we're initializing it with a user ID and guild ID, so we can just go user.id and then user.guild.id, and that will create the document. Now that one will not be stored in the database, so we need to store it. So if you go database.store CaptchaDoc, and then we need the name. Thankfully I've got a method already written there which I can use to store that. I don't really remember anyone I used to play with. I don't really play PS3 that much anymore, but anyways, so we've got our Captcha document, and then we're storing that, and then we can use that to message the user. So I probably will need to add a string here with a captcha. So public string captcha. Can I just call it captcha? I want to call it captcha. Get. And then that can be initialized here. So I'll actually need to add the captcha creator there, but I'm not 100% sure on how I should go about doing that yet. So to do generate captcha. If we head back to Captcha service, is it? No, moderation service. I actually want to move this whole thing into the Captcha service. It will still work because we are still using the event and it is a partial class, but I need to add the imports. Using discord.websocket. Yep. Okay. So now oh wait. No, it's not async. Let's make it async. I do think I actually need the client in here for this. So if we go private Discord sharded client, and then we can set the client here. So client equals client, and then we should use the actual main one for this. Not that it really makes a difference, but it's just better. So if we head back over here, we can go await client dot get user. No, I don't even need that. User dot wait, am I able to just send them a message? Okay, so we can create a DM channel with them and then use that. Yeah, feel free to DM me on Discord. Let's get that up. That's my Discord if you want to message me. But yeah, so we can create a DM channel. What can I do here? Okay. Var channel equals that. If channel equals null, we can just return. Otherwise, can message the user. Channel dot send message async. You have been in the server name. You gotta await that as well. You've been temporarily blocked from messaging in user.guild.name. Plus, and then let's grab a new line. Is there any way I can get the free version of your RTM? The RTM is completely free now. You can just download it here, and you will be able to use it just fine. Yeah, so you've been temporarily blocked from messaging in the server. Please verify yourself by completing the following CAPTCHA. And then we can just go ahead and use CaptchaDoc.CAPTCHA. And then I'll probably need to actually tell them. Tell command to use, and I'll also need to set up a permission for the user. So we can go user.guild.create permission. How do I do this? User.guild. Not sure if it you can set a permission for a whole server for a specific user. I don't think you can, you've got to do it with roles, but it would simplify things if I added a user permission. Yeah, so see how you can add permissions for specific users in channels? That would be quite helpful, because that means I can just be like, hey, no, you don't have any permissions here. But the problem with that is that the bot would have to create a permission for every single channel in the server. And if a server has a lot of channels, then that can be a little bit overboard. So my guess is probably the easiest way would be to have a role, for example a muted role such as this one, where the user can't attach files, mention everyone, add reactions, or send messages. And then that would help things out quite a fair bit. So, I just knocked my heater over. Good job. So, if we go user.guild, I suppose I should add a muted role or a captcha role in here. So if we go public yulong temp role get set equals 0. Now I will need to initialize that, otherwise it won't actually give the user a role. Let's see. I suppose the best way to do that would be automatically generate the role. So I might do that. Yeah. So if we go into Captcha service, no, I need to do that. No, I can use config. So if config dot captcha settings dot captcha temp role equals 0, because 0 is our initial variable, or the initial value I mean, we can generate a role, or we can use the client to get a role. So else, I think the best way would probably be to have another method so this thing doesn't get too complicated. But public yulong, no, async task get or create role. Yeah. So we can go ahead and use the socket guild user and the config to create a role. So if we actually do we need to create it? Yeah, we do need the server and the client and the config. So, just trying to think of the best way to go about this. Moderation config. We will need to add an import for that one. Moderation config. And then you'll also need the guild. So socket guild. So guild dictates a Discord server. Then we can go ahead and go to create a role for that. So if config dot captcha settings dot captcha temp role equals 0, we can just straight up create a role. So var role equals dot create role, question is, why is this all still white? Not 100% sure. Socket guild. What's wrong with this? Oh, I put it above the class. I'm an idiot. Okay, we can sort that one out there. So await that. Create role async. I should probably set the permissions. So if we go guild, new guild permissions. Send messages is false. Gotta think about this for a second. Let's see. What's the constructor for guild permissions? Raw value or okay, so we can use all this. So send messages false. Right, let's go back to the constructor for this. We can see, okay, so we have manage roles, manage nicknames. The ones we're looking for are send messages. So send messages equals false. And then add reactions equals false. And files. So messages, files, reactions, and basically the main permissions for that sort of stuff. So if we go messages, false, actions. Does that work? Yeah, so that works. If we look at our current muted role, you just have a look at the actual permissions that are needed. You look at muted, send messages, false, add reactions, false. Voice permissions, we'll have to not let them connect to voice channels. So if we go connect, speak, and so on and so forth. Is that all we need for this? Color, we don't need a color. Hoisted, it doesn't need to be separated, and that should be all good. So we can create a role like that, and then we can set the Captcha temp role to be that role ID. So config.captchasettings.captchaTemporal equals role.id. And then in the case that it does have an ID already assigned to it, we can try to get that role and otherwise create it. So var role equals guild.getRole, and then config.captchasettings.captchaTemporal. And provided that that role exists, it will have a role there, but we'll have to check if the role is null. So if the role is null, we'll still have to do this. And one of my concerns is if someone has changed the permissions of the role. Let's see, this probably wants to be a socket role, whereas this wants to be a REST role. Okay, let's change this to iRole. Will that work? Can I use iRoll? Yes, okay. So we're using the interface for the role because it will allow for conversions between socket role and rest role, which allows me to say that this is the same type as this, even though they use different classes, they have the same interface, if that makes sense. So what we can do now is if role equals, no, if role dot permissions dot send messages, or role dot permissions dot add reactions, or role dot permissions dot connect, or role dot permissions dot speak. We'll have to modify the role, so role dot modify async. We'll have to await that, and then we can use some lambda to basically set the role permissions. X dot permissions equals new guild permissions, and then we can use the same constructor that we used for this. So that should now ensure that the role is set correctly, and then we can just go ahead and return the role. We'll need to make this task I role. Yep. Then we can go ahead, return. How's it going, Gamer X Gaming? Okay, so now that we've returned the role, we can go back to this thing. Get rid of that whole if statement and go var role equals get or create Captcha role config and then user.guild. Okay, so that should work. Await it because async stuff. Okay, so now that we've got this role, we have to create the user. Actually, we'll have to give the role to the user. So user.add role async role. We'll have to await that. So now that we've added the role to the user, it will get the DM channel of the user, send them a message saying they've been blocked from messaging in the server, and they'll have to complete the following CAPTCHA. And then that's, I believe, all that I need to do for that part. And then we'll need a command in Captcha. Does moderation have any? No, it doesn't. Okay, so we'll need a command in Captcha to verify the user. So if we go command verify public async task verify Captcha, and then we can use a remainder tag string Captcha equals null. If Captcha null, we can just send message asking for return. We should require the context to be a DM. So if we go require context type dot DM. Okay, so after we've done that, if Captcha is null, we can just get rid of the user. Otherwise, we can go var captcha user equals, we'll have to have a method in Captcha service to get the Captcha document. So I might actually do that. Public Captcha user get Captcha user long user ID guild ID. Yeah, so we can use that. So if we go user ID and then guild ID there, and then replicate that over these two here, then we can go ahead and go user ID again for initializing it, and then guild ID. Fix the indentation of that, and then return CaptchaDoc. And then what we can go ahead and do is go back to here, and then go, let's see, CaptchaDoc equals get Captcha user. Actually, we'll rename that to be proper camel case. So uppercase U there. Get Captcha user user.id user.guild.id. Okay, so that works. Now, how are we going to get the Captcha user if they're messaging in a DM, because we won't have the access to the guild ID? So that will be a slight problem. How can I work around that? Well, we can ask the user to just send it in a guild. So no, I don't want them to be sent in a guild. We can use the user joined event and wait for a message to be received again, but I feel like that would be a little bit overkill. Okay, we can query the CaptchaDoc. Yeah, okay, so if we go to here, we can var captcha user equals get moderation service dot get captcha user user ID. So we can go context.user.id. Then context.guild will be null because we're requiring that they are in a DM for this. So, let's just try and figure this out real quick. We can, well, I don't want the chance that there would be two Captcha users for the same user ID unless I wanted to store the guild IDs in there. So I think the best bet would be to use a database query via the Captcha document. No, okay, so the command can take the guild ID and then the Captcha. So if we go ulong guild ID and then the Captcha, and then we can just go ahead and do guild ID there. So if the guild ID doesn't exist, then bad luck. Get or create Captcha user. That makes more sense. So we can go ahead and do that. Make that private and then we can have another method here for just get Captcha user. So we can go public Captcha user, get Captcha user, and then all we need is that, and we won't be doing any sort of creation. So in the chance that it's not loaded, that will be null, and we can null check in the method itself. So if Captcha user equals null, wait, reply async, valid guild ID. And then also if the captcha is null, we can go ahead and go await reply async. You must provide a captcha to solve. And then finally we can go ahead and add the actual method for the captcha stuff. So we can go if captcha dot equals captcha user dot captcha, and we do want it to be case sensitive, but if captcha equals captcha user dot captcha, we can do success, so we'll actually need a boolean in the user captcha to dictate whether or not they've succeeded. So public bool get equals false, and then if we head back here, you can go captcha user dot passed equals true. Oh, we need a setter for that as well. So get set. Otherwise, we increase the failure count. Captcha user dot failure count plus plus if captcha user failure count greater than or equal to oh, we will need the moderation config. Okay, so var config equals moderation service dot get moderation config guild ID. If config equals null, we can return. Otherwise, if captcha user dot failure count greater than or equal to config dot captcha settings dot max failures, return. Max. So we can run the max failures action there. Otherwise, we can do the same thing down here. So if it's greater than or equal to that. Oops, we don't need that extra stuff there. So if it's greater than or equal to the max failure count, then we do the max failure action there. So run max failures. If it is passed, then we can go ahead and go var guild equals context dot client dot get guild ID. If guild equals null, then there's a problem, so we can just return. Otherwise, you can go var role equals guild.getRole, and then captcha config.captcha settings.temp role. If role is not null, by guild. Actually, we can get the user var guild user equals guild.getUser config dot no context dot user. If I can type correctly, which apparently I can't at the moment, context.user.id. If role is not null and user is not null, still can't type. So if neither of them are null, then we can go guild user.remove role async role. Oh wait. And then we can go moderation service dot. I'll need a method to save the capture document, so just go public void save capture user, and then we can just take the capture user as a variable or parameter. I mean, capture user. Then we can just go ahead and store that document in the database. So store user, and then we can go user.userid dot guild ID. And that is how we do the capture stuff. So we can just go save capture user. So that means they will have had the role removed from them and so on, which is good. Otherwise, there probably should be another method in here that performs the capture action on them. So if we go public async task perform capture action, capture dot action type, get a socket guild for the guild to perform the action in. So guild socket user. So if action type dot equals action dot none, return. Else if, actually you don't really need that at all. If, I'm just going to copy paste this whole block and then change the bit at the end. If it's kick, we can just go ahead and go guild dot let's see what things we have here. Is there not a method to kick someone? I believe there should be. Guild dot, or maybe It's a property of socket guild user. If we go guild user, and then we can go user.kickasync. Yeah, that works. Pass Captcha verification. And then if it is a ban, ban async failed to pass Captcha verification. Does that work? User, the user to ban. Prune days. Let's just go 7. Okay, so that should be the actual action for Captcha. So if we go ahead and go await moderation service dot perform Captcha action config dot Captcha settings dot max failures action, and then user. Can't use socket guild user for that because we can use it in. No, we can't use it anywhere. Damn it. Okay, guild user. Let's take this back right to here. Guild.getUser and guild equals that one. If guild user equals null. Okay, so we can perform the action guild user. That works. And we can also do it here. But we do need to save that document still, so moderation service dot save captcha user. Now the only thing I need to do now is actually generate the captcha text. So basically whenever I create this, I should have a method to generate a captcha. So generate captcha key. Okay, let's have a look. Actually, captchas.net. Captcha image shows a random thing. So basically all I need to do is generate either a captcha string, which would be nice, or generate a initially I want to generate a captcha string, otherwise, and then later on I'll change it to be an image. So if we go ahead and go public string captcha string, no, generate okay, so what I need to do here is bar characters equals C, D, J, K, L, M, N, O, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. And then we've got to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay. Dot array. Okay, so for int I equals 0, I is less than 6, I plus plus, and then we can just go ahead and go var character equals characters dot order by descending X, and then we can just have a random here. So how's it going, Azure? Yeah, so var random equals new random. And then we'll need to import that one. I will make it a class specific variable after I finish this, but x random dot next dot first. Of course we need to import link, always using link dot first. And then capture string. Captcha string equals that. Actually, can I do a string builder? New. Sorry, I see your message now. Yeah, feel free to add me in the credits, but like, didn't really do anything, so whatever. System.text, and then we can go capture string dot append. And then we can just go ahead and return capture string dot toString. And lastly, I'll remove that one and make it a class specific variable. So if we go into moderation service, random equals new random, and then we can go private random random uppercase R. Yay. Okay, so if we go back to capture service, we can go uppercase R, A, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. Yep, that all looks good. Okay, so generate captcha. Now we can just do captcha equals generate captcha. Of course I can't use it because it's not within there. Let's go ahead and course I can't use it. Okay, well, put that there, and then make it static. Bad idea. Let's just add a string in here. That would work. String Captcha. Captcha equals Captcha. How's it going, Lava Man? Okay, so I am almost done with this. All we need to do is go generate Captcha. And that looks good to me. Okay, so on to the most enjoyable part, testing. So who wants to be my guinea pig? Let's first of all F5, start debugging. Actually, before we do that, go into Captcha service, set the message to be by running the following command. No, I don't want to do that yet. By running the command, and then we can do that. That and lithium dot ration dot verify, and then we'll need the guild ID there, so user dot guild dot ID. How's it going, hidden memes? What's my Discord? It is https:/discord.me/passive, I believe. Let's hope I spelled that right. Okay, F5. Let's get this thing running. Chuck this out here. Guinea pig. Okay, so let's pull this out this way just a touch and go lithium.help. That should give us the help message with all the commands and stuff. Yeah, okay. Hopefully. Come on, give me the commands. Did it even recognize it as a command? I don't think so. I think I sent it too soon. Okay, do the thing. Do the thing. No? Oh! Why am I not... Okay, it's in developer mode. dev.lithium.help. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we should get a nice little box looking thing there. And it should give me the help message, hopefully. Provided all things go the way I want them to. Yeah, okay. So we do have a lot of commands here. So if we go lithium.moderation dot use Captcha, lithium.moderation dot use Captcha. Yep. Then lithium.moder dev. Put dev at the start because it's in dev mode. dev.lithium.moderation.cap. Actually, that's about all I really need. So, if any of you want to join my server, we can use you as a guinea pig. Otherwise, I'll jump on my alt account, I suppose. That's a bit of a pain, though. Okay, time to round up some guinea pig. let's send out a big old message to everyone. And then see what happens. I really don't want to open those images. I really don't want to, and I'm not going to. Not yet. I'll open them afterwards. God, there's so many people. Okay. So hopefully... Okay, let's see. Okay, so user joined. Did it work? Let's have a look at the database, shall we? A.RavenDB. That one. And do some certificate stuff. If we go to databases, Raven 0, and then go to, where is it? Captcha users. Have a look at this. Okay. There's like one more thing that I need to do, which is basically check that they have a specific role. So Dragonfire got the role. I'll come back to that in a sec. Okay. Captcha user 00. Oh my god, no. Come on, Discord. There we go. Okay. Anyhow, that seems reasonable. You've been blocked. Please verify yourself by running the following command. Lithium.moderation.verify blah 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 blah. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, let's start debugging properly. Okay, if we go to Captcha, actually let's not do that. Let's add a breakpoint here and 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 there. Okay, that should do. Okay, so Captcha equals null. Step into. If we look at our debug view here, we can see that the one he did, it's all good. Step over. Okay, there's our problem. If captcha dot equals captcha user dot captcha. Okay, so it's created the captcha user dot captcha. Why is there captcha null? That's a problem because it shouldn't be null. If we go to here, my guess is it's probably a database issue. .captcha, captcha user .captcha. Yeah, I've got a feeling it's just because I don't have a setter for these. So we go ahead and add setters for all of those. We can hit F5, go back to the database, have a look at these. Yeah, so it's a issue with the bot receiving data because I didn't have setters for those fields, I believe. Anyhow, what's this for? Okay, so if we go back into Captcha, still got all those breakpoints, which is good. Okay, so the person joins the server, which is good, and then they receive a DM from the bot. Actually, I will sign in on my alt account for Discord just so I can test it myself. Disapp.com. Link is expired for the one that I just posted, the discord.me one. Yeah, I only just started using it for Discord bot development. Just giving it a test and seeing how we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, can debug this real quick. So, captcha user. Yep, that all looks good. So we'll hit continue. Remove some of those breakpoints. And we can see here. So basically he joins, receives the temp role, and then he should, in theory, have that command run, and then lose the temp role. Captcha users. In theory. Let's go ahead and just give a quick test to both of these. Yeah, I'll check out the tool when I have the time. I don't play COD Ghosts at all. I don't even know if I have it on my console anymore. But yeah, we'll see how we go. That's fine. User left, user joined, la 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 la. I'll come back to that in a moment. I will jump on my alt. Do I even have an alt? I can't remember. Fairly sure I've got an alt account for Discord. We'll see how we go. Do I really need to use a VPN to get on Discord at uni? No free CIDs, sorry. Log out. Okay, okay, let's pull up the good old alt account. And join the server. So if we go ahead, jump on discord.gg / no, discord.me. Where's the discord.me link? Where did I put it? There we go. discord.me/passive. So if we go here, hit join server, then it should just punch me onto the server, hopefully. Yep. And then we can go here. Did it work? No? Let's try this again. Add server, join a server, there we go, join. Okay, so now we're in. We received the message from that. Why is it sending it twice? I don't know. But if we look at my roles, why are there two? There shouldn't be two. Okay, that's a problem. But if we go dev.lithium.verify blah 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 and hit that, should hit the breakpoint, step over, and then step over. Okay, so that's good. If they're both not null, What if they are null? What do I do then? Continue. If I hit continue, then what are my roles? Still like that. Why are they still like that? I do not know. Debugging is my favorite thing ever. I just love it so much. That was sarcasm, by the way. Yeah, so if we go over to Captcha, and then we go to verify. So it did recognize that I had passed, but it did not get the role. Why didn't it get the role? I'm not sure. So if we go back to our database and then go moderation configs, okay, Discord, go back to here, copy the ID of that server, go here, documents, moderation dash. There we go. Then you can look at our use Captcha temporal. That's also another issue. It didn't set the temporal. Okay, so if we go back to here, go to here, it's definitely just another database issue. There's 3 fucking roles. We go here, delete those 3. Okay. So if we go here, here, and here, and then moderation config, issues with the moderation config. See how all of these have getters and setters, but okay, so that does have a getter and a setter. Now I am confused. Why it do this? Captcha settings. Let's see if removing the private set works. Just for a moment. Temporal. Okay. Find all references. We have one in here. If the role is 0, set it to be that. Am I not? I'm an idiot. Okay, get or create the role. Alright, so perform captcha. No, it's in this one. So it's get or create the captcha role. Issue is that I am not saving the moderation config when I set the role ID. So, save moderation config. And that is the solution to all my problems, I believe. Okay. Hit F5, start debugging again. Okay, so if I get the alt account, which is just up here, to hop out of the server, leave server, yada yada yada, instant invite, just grab that one, go to here, join server, hit join, paste that in there, hit join, and then we should receive a DM from the thing. Oh, I need to verify the account. No, okay, good. So, got our DM from the bot, and then we copy that one, hit dev dot, chuck all that in there, then should be happy, and I've lost my role. Okay, so if we look at our logs here, you can see I join, I receive the role, I run the command, I lose the role. And that is the basic premise of the bot. Now all I need to do is, on top of that, add permissions for every channel. Yes, the RTM is pps.exe. I should probably rename it to Project Passive in the release, but oh well. So, let's see. I roll. Now you can just remove that. Get rid of that one. Remove that. Let's have a look. So what do I need to do for each var channel? For each var channel in guild dot channels dot add permission override role. New overwrite permissions, and then we can add our permissions. So you see how all these by default are inherit. What I need to do is go ahead and set those to be deny. So send messages dot equals what's the value thing again? Better think about this for a second. Quick fix. Okay. Let's remember what it is. Well, perm value dot deny. So if we go send messages equals perm value dot deny. And then add reactions perm value dot deny. What else? Connect. There's a difference between guild permissions and overwrite permissions. Overwrite permissions are for the actual channel. So basically you've got your role, and each role has its own guild permissions. So all those. And then for specific channels, so if we go into here, each channel has overwrite permissions. So, for example, the everyone role can't view this channel because it has an overwrite permission that says they can't read messages, whereas admins have an overwrite that says they can. And if we look at the roles, obviously the everyone role can view messages and so on. But yeah. So, if we go ahead and new overwrite permissions are speak perm value dot deny. I think that's all I need. Sure, why not? Await if channel dot permissions dot no. If channel dot I want to see get permission permission overwrites dot all. Use some more link x dot target ID is not equal to role.id. We can do that. So that'll just reduce the amount of permissions that I need to work with. Okay, so when we get our role, it will see if there's none assigned and generate a role with the default permissions of all these. I'm not even sure if I actually need those permissions. I think I just need a default role, because if we look at this, it's already got the default of false for everything. So if I remove those, we should be fine. Then for here, x.permissions equals that, because we're trying to make sure it's always disabled. If the role, for whatever reason, has been deleted, you generate a new one and set the role ID. And then after that, we've assigned the role, and then we want to go over every channel in the server and add a permission overwrite. Now, I don't really want this to be locking up the bot per se. So if we put it on its own task, you can go task.run and then async, which basically just pushes it out to a different task. So it shouldn't lock up stuff. Okay, so now this is where it gets cool, right? It'll actually work. That's great way to start the bit right after saying it'll actually work. What, it expects another bracket there. Okay, now we can do stuff. Hopefully. So jump on here. We're going to go to here. And then go, where is it? Captcha users. And then we can delete that one. Actually, we'll delete them all. Why not? And then I also want to go to server settings, roles, delete this role, disable all that. Yep, good. And then I can go to the alt account, leave the server. Yep, all good. Just going to verify this email real quick. So, where is it? There, verify the email. Yay. Do the thing. Okay. Really, Discord? Those are some low quality images. Is that it? Verify. Cool. Okay. Continue to Discord, cancel. Okay. So we've got all that. Add a server. Need to get an invite link for general again. Instant invite. Copy that. Go back to the alt account. Join a server. There. Hit join. Please tell me it's running. Yes, okay. So, clone is like, hey, you're not verified. Please enter this. dev.that. Before I do that, I just want to verify that if we look at the channel permissions, this now has a role that says you cannot send messages, you cannot add reactions. And the voice channels, edit channel, permissions, we've got this one, cannot connect, cannot speak. And so, if we go back to here, hit that one, you can see that my alt has joined, it has received the role, and then now that it's run the command, it has had the role removed. And that is basically the Captcha verification. So now should be able to speak. We will do one more test to verify that the permissions are doing their job. So if we go to Captcha users, delete our document there, because we don't want the user to be there. Minimize that. Join server. Oops. What happened to that invite I just made? Instant invite. Copy that one. And then we go to here. Join the server. So you don't have permissions. You don't have permissions in any of the channels. So that's really what I was aiming for there. So no permission to talk in any channel. If we go to Cloner, Cloner is it's the Cloner bot that I sell stuff for, but I'm just using it as a developer bot in this instance. So he didn't have permissions, hit enter, head back in here, and now I've got permissions, yay! And that is CaptchaBOT complete. Now the question is, do I want to add image capture? So instead of being like, hey, here's your captcha text, just copy and paste this, it'll actually ask the user to put an image in, which will be a little bit more clean to work with. The only problem is I probably need a fix for that. Let's actually test the kick feature as well. And also, there is one issue that I just thought of. If Captcha user dot past, because we don't want to have to go through all this stuff again. I will also remove the role. Is that removing the role? Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, so what I just spotted there was basically we shouldn't be tracking the failures of the user if they have passed. So that could have led to an issue down the line, but that is now fixed. What was I doing? Oh yeah, thinking about the image stuff, was I? Yeah. Okay, so need to figure out a way to get an image of a specific string of text and send it to the user. So I'm going to do a little research on this website here. Free capture service. That sounds nice. And yeah, so following JavaScript denotes that. Well, that's not good that they don't have anything there. Our service is free as well, available for da 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 da. You can use it without captchas.net in an image. Okay, so it does have a little watermark, but I think we can manage that. Concatenate the secret key and the random string. If alphabet or letters differs from that, append both separated by. Okay. So yeah, so it's got that watermark in there, which I don't really mind. but the question is random. Do we need random on it? Or just okay, but how do I get the text back? Required parameters, random string. RavenDB. RavenDB is a database that I use, and so RavenBOT is a Discord bot that I've built that utilizes the database for document storage, if that makes sense. Yeah. So the question is, how do I make this work? Basically, what I want to do is, like, the best thing I want to find is basically you have an API where it's like whatever image.captchas.net question mark string equals blah 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 blah, and then what it does is it returns the text content of a URL without that string bit, and you use that URL as the image source. Well, what's this image address? Let's have a look. So it is just that. Okay. So client demo and random equals whatever. Okay. Well, let's have a look at the how-to. Don't need that. Okay. How to install sample files, captchas.net. Well, let's look at the PHP sample. So, hidden text, yada yada yada. So, is it trying to generate a random string based on this? Like, if I put this in, it always generates the same image or the same string of characters, which is good. But yeah, so how do we get the characters? Basically, I also need a way of like setting what this word turns this into. Or I need a way of knowing what HYCGYN is. Verify. Okay. Do they have an endpoint that allows me to use verify? GSP. It's definitely got to have the verify thing in there somewhere. So secret is whatever. That like secret key. Okay. No, the random string. So the random string, that's like the source for the result. So basically what this captcha thing is doing is it takes this, whatever this is, and it turns it into these characters. So WVPHNH. So what I need to do is figure out how to verify that. And I don't know how to do that because I haven't figured out where they are doing it. So I've got this how-to. I want just a regular API. That would be nice. You don't need to get it through. Okay, sp.net. Okay, come on, where's your endpoint? I'm guessing it wants the image verify. Come on, give me that. Nope, too easy. So what I need to do, demo secret, the source characters, the length, and the size of the image. Okay. So it wants to verify using the value and the source. Just tell me what the endpoint is. The secret key. Captcha. Okay, I'll have a look at Captcha. I just need a web API for this, basically. Captcha? Is that one? Capital L? No, that's got all weird foreign characters. I don't like that. Perl. Okay, let's have a look at Perl. I just need like the URL that they're using. Okay, let's give this a proper test. So your message. What's your message? EZXMRO. Submit. What? Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I just need like whatever URL this is. What I need is like it should be like random equals passive and key equals, and then we'd use HYCGYN, and then it would return like the text value of the word true with the secret key on it. What's the secret key though? Is it just secret? Equals HYCGYN. Is that what you mean? Validate. I need to figure out. No, validate is check the random string to be valid. Return a verify. Check that the right CAPTCHA password has been entered and return an error message otherwise. You know, I remember doing this on. Yeah, but I don't know how to make an account for this. Like, they're very hands off in. Okay, both your web server and our CAPTCHA need a common secret key. The picture is integrated, quite similar to page counters. As a parameter, need to send a random string within the link. The secret key and the random string are used to generate a password. Both strings are needed to compute the password. The password is computed by the CAPTCHA server. Yeah, I get that. Well, what's their I don't want their registration. I want to use the demo. Like, I know it's free, but I want to figure out what the endpoint is to receive the actual success you win thing. Every number encodes a character for choosing it. Secret key with a random string. Or do they want it to be verified on its own? Secret key is secret. No, see, the thing that they're using is just like, hey, what happens if I write secret? What's capture password now? I have no clue what I'm doing. Inspect. Text capture password. They have JavaScript on here that of course it's all weird. I hate weird stuff. Client equals demo. So client is the username, right? I think. Can I do it without a client? No. Okay. So I need the client. I'm so lost. This is great. Actually, you know what? If we go GitHub, all that, did I do stuff with Lithium with the Captcha? But sample PHP Captcha. Well, let's have a look at this one. The thing is, the way Discord works is they want the image. Like, I actually need the proper image stream, like either the bitstream or the how do I say it? I need either the bitstream or the image URL. Like, it doesn't work any other way, which is why I need either an API that gives me an image and then an API that gives me yes, this is correct. Wait. Oh, wait. Okay, so just gotta think. Use my brain for something. Every number decodes a character from the chosen alphabet. Yes, okay. Secret key. So what does this do? Is that supposed to do something? Okay. Like, I'd be happy to use this, I just don't know how to use it, because I'm retarded. Captcha API. Captcha API free. I don't want that. Like, I don't want a web captcha. I need the image, which is the problem. Okay. Bet it is. Okay, so what we're gonna do? Programming, C#, Discord. Was I working on Lithium? Okay, if we go to Lithium 2, I believe I was working on this at some point for Lithium. Otherwise, I think I have old source of CaptchaBOT that I can use. Because there was a C# library that I had used for it. Go on, show us the dependencies. Okay. CaptchaGen, netcore. Okay, that looks promising. I like the sound of that. User verification. If we go to, come on, stop being slow. If we go to here, oh, why is it so laggy? Go to definition. I wish it was that easy for me. Verification service, send verification message, Captcha.jpg. Okay, this is what I want. Image, so verification text, or that. Okay, so all I need to do is import CaptchaGen. Okay, this is something I haven't come across yet. I have no idea how to import packages in VS Code for C#. That's a problem. How do I do that? CS Proj, yes, okay. I'm not sure if I just need to add it in there or VS Code C# NuGet. .NET add package. Okay, I believe if we go p.NET add package, is it CaptchaGen? CaptchaGen.NET Core. I need that. .NET add package. Will that be happy? Or do I need to do it in CMD? NuGet package manager. Okay, give us a sec, we'll get this. I used to have this installed, so it was real easy, but now I've got to reinstall it. Okay. Once that's installed, then I can just add it with ease without having to go through the command line or anything. Okay. If we go here, and wherever, add package, and then that one, 1.9.2. Yes, okay, that sounds happy. Yes, okay, so it's in there, it's all happy. If we go to Captcha now, actually more specifically Captcha service, we can go using CaptchaGen.NET Core. And then I can take this and basically steal the old code that I wrote, because that is easy. So font size distortion. Okay. Then I can go ahead and go to the bit where it gives us the message. Oh, I got completely sidetracked. I was going to do the testing whether or not it actually kicked them or not. Oh well. If we go captcha.captcha, like there, and then verify user. So this is very similar to what I had previously written. It's just user.kill. Okay, I like that. I've figured it out. we just go there. I can get rid of that to do because I did that. Did it. Yay. Hit F5 and then hope that I didn't break something. It's always something broken. Okay. So I've got all that. That's all happy so far. Go to our alt. Leave the server for the 20th time. Go to, where is it? I have my database here. Captcha users. Delete this document. Delete. No, we do not need that. And then generate invite. Copy that. And then we go back to wherever this. Oh, join server. Paste that. Hit join. Then I'll be like, hey, you need to do something. Come on. What the fuck? Come on, don't do this to me. Oh, I was so close. Is Raven free? Yeah, it's a free database to use. It's just I wouldn't say it's complicated to set up. It's just it can be painful to set up. Although with RavenBOT, the actual thing that I've written here, it has made it a little easier. Image factory, build image, image type.png, maybe. Image stream, Captcha.jpg. Let's see if this is happy. No, it's not. Why is it not happy? Oh, because by default it's PNG. Okay, let's restart this. Have our buddy here leave the server. Join server. Join server. Okay, but it's progress. That's all that matters. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Okay. Wait for it to finish connecting. It should say ready any second now. Come on. Shard ready. Yay, okay. Hit join. Hey. Nope. That didn't work. I'm so lost. Okay. Build image. So hit stop. What distortion? You go default. Image type. Image format type. Dot. JPEG. Yeah. Will that work? I want it to work. I really do. I really want this to work. You have no idea. Wait. Let's first hit open original, and then JPG. Nope. Okay. So it's yeah. Yeah. Wait. I'll be back in like a minute. we have some bugs to fix. Yay, my favorite. Okay. Captcha.jpg. I wonder if it's because it's sending a file. I don't think it is. So yeah, that's fine. DMing the user. That's all happy. Yep. Oh god, no. I'm not like, while I know how to use Python now, I really don't want to mix different languages because that makes things bad. Let's run the verify command. Okay. CaptchaGen, netcore, image factory, build image. Well, let's test if setting the actual whatever build image thing changes something. 500, 500. Leave server. Add server. Join server. There we go. It's connected. Yes, it is. Okay. Hey, please look at this empty image. Yay, you will be able to verify yourself in the server. Yes. Okay, that's good. I don't know why it's in the very top corner, but that's progress right there. Check if the image is being set up correctly from your bot. Well, I know it's being set up correctly now because it's there. Yay. Okay, well, we'll leave the server, join back. I want to see if the reason that it's in the very top corner is because of that, or it was... Okay, so it is just like, hey, fuck you. 25. Where have you been, Ben? Fucking mess. Leave server. Wait. Okay, we still got the invite in there. Leave server. Join server. Okay. I don't think I need the image to be that big. Go. Actually, why is it generating the same one? Like, I'm sure it's probably supposed to, but I don't like the fact that it is generating the same image each time. You're going to be back on PS3? Maybe sometime. It's just like all the games on PS3 are so dead, and I don't really want to play with only modders. Like, I don't know, I don't find it as enjoyable to play PS3 anymore. Actually, let's give this a shot though. dev.lithium.moderation.verify 431613488985558. No, 85538 560 23 F OC4. Did I do it right? Did I do it right? I did it right, yeah. I did it right. I tapped it right, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, look at that. That's success right there. That's the look of success. Now, my question is, will it do the thing that I want it to do when the person does it wrong? Actually, you know what I'll do before then? I'm I want to flesh out the actual responses. So, wait, reply async. Actually, go to definition. So it does actually generate one. So it should, config should never be null. It's not generating a captcha from their name. It's basically when they join the server, it generates a config which contains their it basically generates just a random string when they join the server. It stores that random string, and then they have to input that random string within a certain amount of attempts, or they'll be kicked / banned or whatever from the server. So if we reply async you aren't in that server. Let's use lowercase for these, so that's a little bit more consistent. Successfully verified. It's not well. So the captcha here, this string there is already stored in a database, so it's only ever the one captcha for that server, for that user for that server. Whereas, like it makes things a little more consistent. Like I could generate a new one every time they joined the server, but I don't think that's necessary. Okay, so we can chuck in a success message there. Been verified. Yay, happy. Then we can return. Was an error. Please contact an admin. That's all happy chappy. And then await reply async. You have exceeded the maximum amount of attempts. That's what I'm saying. It's generating one when they first join the server, then it stores it and uses that string thereafter. Yeah, that's correct. Do you think maybe I should add an option for it to generate it every time they join the server? Like, I'm not sure if that's really necessary. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose. Oh, I just thought of another bug that might be in the code. Where is it? Captcha service. So at the moment, what's happening here is it messages them every single time they join the server, and it also gives them the role every single time they join the server. Whereas this should be like the very first thing that happens. Yeah. And if they have passed it previously, then there shouldn't be any issue and you can just return. Like, there's no need to message them or send them any of that. So that's a little bit better. What else? Captcha.failure count increased. Hi async. You have failed attempt number. Okay, so you have failed attempt number captcha user.fail count. Out of config dot captcha settings dot max failures. Okay. I think that's all the responses I need. We'll need a semicolon there. Okay. Debugging time, once again. Oh boy. Get ourselves a drink. Monster energy juice. Okay, there's like this pink can of Monster, and it says it's energy juice. I don't actually know what flavor it is. It says Pipeline Punch. Is that the flavor? Banzai Pipeline. One of the most favorite. Okay, it's talking about waves. The perfect blend of the best flavors Hawaii has to offer. Passion fruit, orange, and guava. Yeah, sounds alright. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so if we join the server, do it, join. It shouldn't message me again, unless I deleted it. Nope, okay, it wasn't deleted, so let's have a look, shall we? $30. I don't really think having a timeline, like a time limit on, like having a time limit on the verification is a good idea. Like, the person might be like, oh, what's this? Like, just have no clue, and then all of a sudden they're kicked from the server or something. Like, I don't really feel like that's necessary, I suppose. However, we will give this another test. Delete my thing once again. Should probably also add like a moderator command for them to like delete all the Captcha users for that server. But yeah, so join the server. Happy chappy. Get the message from the bot. It's like, hey, you need to do this. I should really size down that image. But anyways, PFPDXF. Also, do you think it should be case sensitive or not? I'm not really sure. Force verify. Well, the thing is, like, the only major issue with like force verifying is to like make sure they are verified, but all you need to do is remove the role from the user and they are verified. Like, all verifying does is remove the automatically generated role from the user. So I'm not really sure if that's 100% necessary. Anyways, there. Let's copy this whole prefix for it, and then put in something wrong. You failed. 2 out of 3. 3 out of 3. Yep, and kicked from the server. Perfect. Now, I need to join back still. God damn it. Instant invite. Paste that one in there. Okay, that... Why is it sending so many? Why the fuck did it just send 4? What? Yeah, right. Why did that send 4 though? I was so confused. Oh, that's bad. That means the user joined event triggered 4 times. Discord is broken. Yeah, right. I suppose if or CaptchaDOC dot failure count is greater than or equal to config.captcha settings dot max failures. Check the join logs. Good idea. What the fuck? Okay, so it triggered once, but okay, that's a little concerning. just a little bit. Wait, do I still have the invite copied? Yeah, okay. Leave server. Okay, now we've got that to separate it. Dude, what the fuck? What? Okay. What the? Okay, we've got a breakpoint there. Let's just add that to separate it so we know. What the? Why did it not hit the breakpoint? Did I not set a breakpoint? Oh fuck! Wait. It's not reading from the failure count. If it's past, okay, we've restarted anyways. If CaptchaDOC.passed, then it should just return, right? Okay, we've got a breakpoint there now, anyways. So, blah blah blah. Do that. Leave the server. Join the server. Oh, is it? Oh no, a random person joined the server. I don't want it to trigger for them. No. Okay, wait. We're gonna stop the bot. Did they join the server? You saw that, right? If config. Unless there's another server that's just added it. Bot spam for the book. It's fucking spam. Yeah, man, it's reverse psychology. It spams the user so that then they don't want to spam. It's genius. God, why didn't I think of that before? Yeah, no. Okay, let's give this a shot. Got our database, Captcha users. Let's see if this guy actually passed it though. Fucking bamboozled. Yeah. Wait, is it running? Yeah, it's running. Okay. We get up. Get this doohickey. And then we go ahead and bot running. Happy chappy. Leave the server. So I have passed the verification. So that's good. Hit join. And so I shouldn't receive a message from... Wait, have I passed? Wait, I can tell if I pass verification by... Oh, you wanna spam the server, do you? Well, now I'm gonna leave it up. The bot can handle you. User joined handler is blocking the gateway task. No. Well, that's always promising that it's actually like working on. Okay, so someone joined the server and ran a spam bot on the server because yeah, what sort of names are those? And they're all like accounts generated relatively close together. But that is promising. Okay. We will wait until it adds the role to all of them, or at least notifies of the role being added. Hey, that's promising. That is really promising. Okay. Now let's actually test what I wanted to test, which is, but leave the server. Oh yeah, gotta love that. Like that's not even a problem for me. That's a bot problem. A bot problem. Did my headset just cut out? Oh, but didn't. Hello? Yeah, it's still working. Good. Okay. What the fuck's that supposed to mean? Event service line 184. Oh boy. Okay. $184. This isn't even a bug to do with this. Field count must be less than or equal to 25. Did I add more fields? I thought I... It should be bulking the... Oh, maybe it's not. Maybe I removed that. Add field. Or... just casually fixing bugs for other things on the side. Dot count. Yeah, that works. Okay, anyhow, let's go back to where we were. What was I doing? Okay, so I verified that yes, the kicking of the user works. Oh god, I've like completely lost my train of thought. That is not good. But hey, that looks happy. Wait, any of... display. Let's remove those two. Apply. No, I want to see the failure count. Yeah. So that's me. That's my alt, right? Oh, wait. Okay. So we don't just want to exit if they've failed. You got to wait for the roll to be applied first. God, that could have been bad. If roll, no, if that. God, so many logic errors. Oh, this is killing me. How long have I been streaming for? 2 hours, 46 minutes. Oh, that's promising. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's change the size to 200 by what's that? Width by height. 200 by 100. And let's set the distortion down to like 10 or something. F5. I do want to delete all these because they're part of debugging. Okay. Back to the alt. Leave the server. Join the server. Please don't. Of course I deleted the invite. General. Instant invite. Copy. Alt. Instant invite. Make sure bot's connected. Yep, she all good. Join. And then send me the message. Please. Please? No? Oh, this is doing my head. It's our Captcha service thing. Why? Why is it blocking it? Okay. Well, I should have seen that coming. Well, fucking, I told Kai. Okay, wait. If we look at this, and go into admin chat, it's like, Kai, please fix this. That was yesterday because I was testing the anti-spam on this, and now we got this. There we go. Okay, back to this. Hey, that's why is it so high? What did I set the height to something completely off? User joined generates a captcha. What, 200 by 100? Image height. Why is it 50? 50 by 100. Actually, let's go 150. 100 by 150. Okay. Let's give this debug attempt number 4950. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. Got this doohickey. Private testing. Like, hey, that's pretty good though. It's actually it was giving them the role. Okay. Do I still have the... I'm hoping I still have the invite in the clipboard. Yes. Okay. Join the server. Hey. Hey, do the thing. Hey, I received the role. That's good. And we've got that. So, um, the reason I wanted it to be an image instead of the text as well is because technically you could write a bot that could bypass that by copying the text from the previous message. Yeah. P1. Reckon that's an L? Yeah. L4DL. Maybe I should remove L's and I's from the generation thing. That's probably a good idea. Actually, let's have a look in the database, so I don't have to do all that. Why are there 95? Oh my god. Okay. Oh, so it's P1I4DL. The thing is, like, see how it puts the I there? It doesn't, like, make it obviously a capital I with, like, the cap in the bottom. P1I4DL. Of course, I need the prefix on it. Dev dot. Hey, we did it. Hooray. No internet? I call bullshit. Still says I'm streaming. Okay. That's well, that's promising. See, it's done all that. One change I will do is actually remove the capital I and the lowercase l. Yeah. Also, maybe the 0 and capital O. You know what? I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this so far. Let's actually look at the git commits for it. So we've got the package for that, yeah. Let's stop this. Let's view the changes for this. Oh, so Captcha service is a completely new document. So everything in this I have written in the last 3 hours. Event service, we've just fixed that little issue there. We've got now the random and the client in moderation service being used. So that's all good. We're now using the user joined event for that stuff. Got like all the additional Captcha stuff for the moderation config, and then the whole Captcha document itself. I'm pretty happy with that. Just generate from uppercase, it'll be easy for you. You're probably right. C, E, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P. Yeah, I'll remove all the lowercase. We'll just have the uppercase alphabet, excluding capital I and capital O, and then numbers 1 through 9, not including 0. How do you warn people on Discord? That's actually something I'm probably gonna work on over the weekend, adding moderation stuff to the Lithium module of this. So we'll see about that. Programming is so mentally taxing sometimes. But we'll see. Like, it is officially working, so I can at least say that much. Losing my voice a little bit there. Yeah, just a tiny bit. Yeah, there are plenty of Discord bots that allow you to do warns. I personally use Lithium, which is one that I created. It's actually what I'm rewriting all these features for now. Like Captcha is going to be part of Lithium. But help. If we look at actual like the Lithium commands and stuff, it is a bit. There's a lot. There is a lot of stuff you need to use. Like what I want to do with Lithium is make the bot better. Like so far it's got all of these commands and stuff, and it's confusing. So, you know what I've done? This all bar some of the things like logging for the auto moderation and stuff. Lithium is being rewritten. How do you do it here? It depends on the bot you want to use. Like for example, Lithium, the old Lithium is L colon space as the prefix and then warn. But the new Lithium is not that. What a great explanation. Will that work? That's a fancy looking IP grabber, I think. Yeah, okay. DinoBot. I'm not really sure. Oh, you know what? You know why this help command isn't working? It's because I'm not using the damn program. Lithium.help. Come on. Do the thing. Okay, so let's receive that. Look on YouTube. Just Google DinoBot commands or something. Like, sure I know things with Discord, but yeah. See, old Lithium, new Lithium. It really hasn't improved that much. But one thing I do want to show is the fact that see how all the commands are like that in the old one? Sure, it shows you stuff, but it doesn't actually show you the descriptions of the commands and stuff. Whereas this one, it's a little bit more functional. For example, if you add a summary attribute to a command, it'll give you that. Adds a word or message to the blacklist, for example. So that works pretty well. And yeah. Can I join your Discord? Yeah. My Discord is discord.me/passive. I did put a link in the stream chat somewhere. https://discord.me/passive. You can join if you want. Oh, you can be my guinea pig for cloner. Wait. Nah, you won't be my guinea pig for now because it's still using the dev prefix. I honestly think I have fixed up this to a point where it is usable. I'll probably find some logic errors in it along the line, but yeah, we can GitHub desktop, commit that to the repo, and then push it. I will, however, remove, which one is it? Event service. Let's do all of them. That's a long title. Commit to RavenBOT. Okay. Let's see how much I actually added in this session. 169 plus 468, 169, 177. No. 200 and something. 3. Added about 450 lines. Not bad. A little less than 450. Yeah. Anyways, that's probably enough for today. I've been streaming for like 3 hours and I'm fucking mentally drained now. So, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Thanks for hanging around, Faults. You were probably the most active member of the stream. So, on ya. Yeah, anyways, guys, I'll probably head off. Peace out.